Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, That back with part 9 for what if Subaru Natsuki was a Shadow Dragon Slayer, aka Shadow Dragon King Subaru. And if you guys haven't seen the prior 8 parts and want to go back and look into that, you can go to the top upper right hand corner where you can find all 8 prior parts, including the most recent part, which was about 6 months ago, so you have some catching up to do. But anyway, since it's been a bit, I'll explain what happened last time unless you want to go back and rewatch, which honestly, it's been so long you probably should anyway. But in a short recap, Subaru, after dying in one of the loops where he had Rem and Betelgeuse and everything at the mansion happening, would take down the White Whale and would currently have Julius and the rest of the Crush Camp's help in agreement with helping take down the White Whale after he had used about half his magical power and refueled on their shadows and eating some of their magic. Subaru, Julius, and their team of knights and warriors from the Crush Camp are now riding on horseback, making steadfast pace to Master Roswaal's estate to try and find the witch cult before any damage can happen or any of the villagers are killed, or God forbid Emillia is killed herself. Subaru would arrive with Rem at his side, as Subaru, using his memories from his prior runs, would instruct the knights where to go in the forest, explaining where the hidden base of Betelgeuse is, and having them defend the villagers by guarding outside the village. Subaru would instruct Rem to warn Emillia and her sister Ram, saying that he himself, alongside Julius, will go and take out Betelgeuse. Rem would grab Subaru's hand, telling him to be careful. Subaru would nod, telling her that he's got this and have some faith in him. Rem would be still worried, but knowing Subaru being Subaru, she'd let him handle it. After having seen everything he's accomplished so far in all of the past couple of weeks, why wouldn't she? I mean, this guy is pretty powerful. She just watched him like 3 hours ago use a magic attack that was able to suck 3 massive flying whales out of the sky and rip some of its brains out with the power of a black hole. He's not exactly someone that you would typically be worried about. Anyway, she would still wish him good luck as she runs off towards the mansion. Subaru and Julius making a head nod towards each other as they proceed further. Subaru summoning a shadow sword, pulling the shadow through his hand as he creates a blade to match Julius's swordsmanship. The two running through the forest and jumping between the trees as they get closer to the main base that Subaru had told them about on their way here. Back at the mansion, Rem would have told everyone what's going on, and upon hearing how reckless Subaru is being, Emillia would leave, fleeing the mansion to go and help Subaru, thinking that this is her land and her responsibility. She can't just let him fight on his own. Rem would try and stop her, to no avail. While Emillia is trying to run to the forest to find Subaru, Ram would attempt to be using her magic to communicate with the animals to see where their master, I guess mistress, Emillia, has gone off to. She would witness as Emillia runs into the clearing, finding Julius and Subaru engaging in combat with the Sin Archbishop of Sloth, Betelgeuse. Subaru would have been using some of his own magic, pairing it with Julius, as he has one of Julius's spirits contracted with him, a dark spirit. Using this, Subaru would be transmitting his vision, his sight of what's going on to Julius, allowing them to both see through the same eyes. This would help Julius tremendously in avoiding the unseen hands, since Subaru is capable of seeing and consuming all shadow magic, as well as being the possessor of Return by Death, which, for some reason which hasn't been explained yet, I don't think, has allowed him to witness the unseen hand and also other abilities of the 7 sins in ReZero. Betelgeuse would turn, seeing the girl he came here to kill, the one who has the same appearance as his mistress, since Emillia has a similar appearance to Satella. As he would lash out, trying to send his arms toward her, Subaru would notice it as he moves at blinding speeds, spreading his arms out in front as he takes the blow for Emillia. As the hand would start hitting Subaru, he would start consuming them, sucking up the darkness into his mouth. Subaru would continue to absorb Betelgeuse's power. This time, something would happen, something that's never happened before. While protecting Emillia, Subaru would feel something strange, as if though he had gained a second heartbeat. At this point, Subaru, while he's digesting the magic from the unseen hands, would feel a burning power deep within him awakening. Scales would begin to form under Subaru's eyes, as his eyes would become a deep gleaming gold with black slitted pupils. This is, finally, Subaru would have obtained it after protecting his dear friend and the person he's promised to help make the queen of this new era in Lagunica. Subaru would access the power of Dragon Force, in the same way that Natsu Dragna had consumed Etherion and later on the Flame of Rebuke. Using an outside source of power to fuel his Dragon Force, he finally would have accomplished it. Subaru would be absorbing the unseen hands and using it to power himself up into a state that before had been completely unattainable. The true power of the Dragon Force, the mightiest tool of Dragon Slayers. At this point, with power completely surrounding him, engulfing him in a golden light, Subaru would be moving so fast that Betelgeuse couldn't even react to it, as he snaps the arms of the unseen hands, shattering and cutting through them with ease, using his shadow blade. Almost as if he teleported, he'd move right in front of Betelgeuse, slicing his sword as Betelgeuse's head would roll to the ground, his body falling over as he's killed. Julius would be shocked and amazed at Subaru's suddenly newfound power, feeling his own hairs standing on end. Still sharing senses of Subaru, his vision had increased almost as if though he could see in the dark. His range of vision, everything, just that one sense had increased almost tenfold, and Julius was honestly intimidated. The hair on his neck was standing up from the vibrations in the air from the power that Subaru was emitting. At this point, Subaru would turn, his teeth having grown more fang-like, as he looks over to Julius saying, "There's more. I can sense it. I didn't kill him. His soul escaped to another vessel. Let's go." Subaru, with his enhanced senses from Dragon Force, would easily be able to smell the other locations of the fingers, tracking their magical energy, using his enhanced strength, speed, and all of his stats boosted highly by Dragon Force to find and cut down every last finger. With the last one finally being killed with ease, Betelgeuse would attempt to take over Subaru's body. As he enters Subaru's soul, all that Betelgeuse would see this time is the roar of a ginormous black dragon, consuming his soul whole and finally killing him. With the awakening of Dragon Force finally calming down, Subaru would have been able to defeat Betelgeuse with basically no effort, saving Emillia and, well, I guess everyone because the beasts of the end didn't appear. And also just saving the day. Subaru would feel exhausted, his arm wrapped around Emillia as she helps carry him back, feeling his stamina having been completely eaten away by Dragon Force. Subaru would thank everyone who had come to help him, with the rest of the witch cultists having been wiped out by Crush's forces. And that's where the end of Season 1 of ReZero would occur, with the defeat of Betelgeuse and everyone making it back to the mansion alive. So let's keep things going and continue onwards into Season 2. After the rest of Crush's forces would leave the mansion, Subaru would once again tell Emillia that he's sorry for the actions that he had committed in the capital, having beat on and defeated all of the knights in the capital for having basically made fun of her and treating her differently at the royal selection. Emillia and Subaru would have this heartfelt talk, with Emillia forgiving Subaru, knowing why he was so angry, and basically telling him that she'd been living with that discrimination her entire life after moving out of Eleanor Forest, where she had been living for 100 years of Puck. After Roswaal had come and taken her from there, and she'd been introduced into this world in Lagunica, she had a lot of getting used to. After this, we have a small time skip where we're going to be covering the events of the ReZero movie, Snow Memories, which is basically this filler movie that you guys might have watched that's really wholesome. I'm just going to include it really quickly because I loved it, and I think that you guys should have a what if abridged version of it. So here we go. Basically, the events of Snow Memories happen during, you guessed it, winter, with Roswaal still at the mansion for some reason, even though at the end of Season 1, he's not. Let's clarify. The competition would happen where Ram and Rem would create their ultimate snow creation of a mixed thing between Roswaal and Subaru, and it would be horrifying, with the judges giving it a terrible score out of 10, and that being the end of the movie. Also, we get drunk Emillia and Rem, for those of you who remember, which is wholesome. Meanwhile, back in the plot, after things have calmed down back in the village, and everything's gone back to normal, it would be time for them to go and retrieve Roswaal, who had journeyed into the Sanctuary, a location that is under the Roswaal domain that is completely inhabited by demi-humans. And it's key for Emillia to prove herself here by winning the trust of these demi-humans and showing Roswaal's domain that she is worthy of being his pick for the next successor of the throne. Subaru would have a dark look in his eyes, though, as just a few months ago, the event had happened. After Subaru had cleared out the witch cult that had been attacking Roswaal's mansion, he had basically been wiped out, resting, and Emillia had taken him back inside the mansion. Rem, wanting to do her part, would head back with Crush's forces to meet up with the caravan who had been waiting at the site of the whale's death, the white whale. And just like in the original ReZero, an attack would occur. That being from Regulus Corneus, the Archbishop of Greed, and Lai Batankaitos, the Sin Archbishop of Gluttony. Subaru had, at that time, the moment that he found out what happened to Rem, had tried to end his own life to fix it with Return by Death. And in every timeline, or well, I should say the last 5 where he's done it, every time he arrives at the battlefield in time, he's still way too wiped out from his use of Dragon Force, because his body's not reset to full strength every time he uses Return by Death, just to where his save point was, which is right after Betelgeuse's death, and as he's falling unconscious. As he wakes up, he always runs out of the mansion at full speed, using his shadows to teleport him as fast as possible, and he always arrives just in time to fight Regulus. And every time, he loses. This last time, he had just made it in time to see Rem being eaten by Lai. Now knowing who his target was, being the Archbishop of Gluttony, Subaru had sent a shadow dragon roar at him, trying to rip him to shreds, and Regulus had blocked it. That guy's annoying. Every attack that Subaru has used on him, even using a Shadow Dragon King move before being destroyed, has been completely ineffective against Regulus. It's like he's completely immune to everything I throw at him. And as such, Subaru has not died yet. Regulus this time just blowing him away and leaving with a laughter, saying that he's way too weak to be a threat to someone like him, as he wipes the dirt off his clothes. Regulus would have left him there crumpled and bruised, with Emillia showing up later to save him, wondering what had gotten into him, and subsequently finding out what happened to Rem. It's been 2 weeks since then, and Subaru has decided that he's going to hunt down that Sin Archbishop, the one who consumed Rem's memories, and take care of him when he's back at full strength, thinking that there must be some way he can reclaim Rem's memories, realizing after the 3rd attempt that people forget who that Sin had consumed. Meaning that Ram had forgotten Rem's existence. Even her own sister was just gone. Rem was still unconscious, laying in a bed in the mansion. Roswaal was gone, and Frederica had showed up. Frederica Baumann being the replacement for Rem to help maintain the mansion. The former maid in service to Roswaal Mathers. Subaru would flex his hand, telling Emillia that he's definitely coming with her, saying that he's back to full strength, holding his arm up with a smile. Even if that white-haired guy comes back, I think I might be able to handle him this time. In all seriousness though, Subaru would be thinking about it, biting his nail. Even if I could tap into Dragon Force at will, I think that'd still be a hard fight. Maybe I'd even... Nah, I'd definitely win. It's not even that he's that strong, it's just... there's something weird about him. Maybe his movements? I don't know. And before they departed, Petra herself would actually have joined and would be being trained by Frederica to help her maintain the mansion as an apprentice. Subaru would compliment Petra, saying that that's a nice outfit, giving her a thumbs up for the maid dress. This would frustrate Emillia. By this point, after having lived with Subaru for quite a while, Emillia is actually starting to develop feelings for him. With Subaru's kind nature and helpfulness, not to mention his impending power and never give up attitude, Emillia is feeling that shonen protagonist style riz. But in all seriousness, Emillia is starting to develop feelings for Subaru, even if she hasn't realized that yet. Subaru and Emillia prepare for their trip, with Ram deciding to go alongside with them, saying that she can't leave Emillia alone with that dumb Barasu. Now the 3 of them leaving. Subaru would again have to ride on Petrash, being the ground dragon, because like all dragon slayers, Subaru has a crippling motion sickness when in any vehicles, which Ram would find hilarious, and Emillia would be worried about him. Emillia would be wearing the new necklace that Frederica had given to her. Subaru riding in front, and just thinking about how before he had left the mansion, where he had walked into Rem's room and had held her hand for a while, saying that they were heading out. While they're riding in closer to the sanctuary, Suddenly, the stone around Emilia's neck would glow, Subaru turning as he asked what's wrong, reaching out as Emillia would reach her own hand out, the two of them disappearing, Rom crying out where the two of them had gone. As our focus switches, we see that Subaru and Emillia have been teleported inside of the graveyard. That, of course, being the location of the trials by the Witch of Greed, Echidna. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Subaru was a Shadow Dragon Slayer, make sure to like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. I'm sorry if this felt a little faster than usual, but I wanted to get into Season 2 so that I can try and wrap this up a bit earlier. And also, I'm thinking about, I had a question from someone in the comments and I figured I'd ask you guys. Would you guys be interested in me covering novel content from ReZero in my What Ifs? Like going past the anime and going further into like arc 5 and 6. I try to avoid that in most of my What Ifs, aside from like series that are finished like Naruto. Like my Hero Academia ones, I try to avoid that just because I don't want to go into something that could potentially spoil it and make the experience not as good for someone who wants to watch the anime. And ReZero Season 3 has just been confirmed to be coming out like next year. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Once again, thank you for making it this far, and if you guys enjoyed, let me know by showing support down below. I am confident in saying that part 10 is going to be pretty cool because we'll be having some characters from Fairytail showing up from within the trials, specifically Mavis and Zareth, which I think is going to be interesting. Anyway, I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much, and goodbye.